Welcome back, everybody. This is Lindsay Kramer from syracuse.com with our SOS Spotlight Athlete of the Week. Today's guest is Auburn running back Elijah Benson, who has started off very quickly for the Maroons. Elijah is quite the hard worker for Auburn. The first couple games, he has about 670 yards. Fast start for you guys. I'm sure that's something you expected. Take us through what has gone well for you and why you've gone off so well.
Honestly, it's just been the off season and all the work the boys have put in, like in the weight room, like day to day, and on the field. They've just been putting in work at nonstop since like the beginning of the last COVID season. I mean, the end of the last COVID season, like in the spring, and they just haven't stopped since. Well, we haven't stopped since, and that's what I really attribute our success to.
What were your personal goals? Because I know in last year's spring season, you did carry the ball a lot and had some good numbers, but that was in the springtime, quick turnaround to the fall. What personally did you expect of yourself this year?
Honestly, wanted to double my numbers at least. Um, I felt like I could have did way better than I did, and I looked back and look at stuff I could fix, like in my game, offensively and defensively. But yeah,
Now, I know a couple years ago you came up as a freshman at the end of the year. Auburn made the finals, lost to Carthage. You didn't play a lot, but obviously you got a little bit of a taste of the postseason. What do you remember about that year? Obviously, it was a disappointing ending, but you did get some varsity experience. What were your thoughts about that season and how it helped you, last year and this year?
um, that year I had played GB and I came up like in the end of the season for playoffs, and honestly just prepared me from like what I was going to be doing now, just getting a taste of that, like you said, and yeah, there's not much. I don't know.
Did the disappointment of that year, obviously last fall, there was no football, and you played a little bit in the springtime, just 5 games. It's very unusual. Tell us about that short-term season, what you got out of that, because again, you're not used to playing football in the spring. Tell me about the spring season last year.
Um, I felt like we were just getting started, like the 5-0. I feel like we could have went way deeper in the playoffs and then beyond that as a team. That's how we felt, and it was pretty sad because they were seniors. It was their last year, and yeah, it was just sad, honestly. But
Auburn has started out pretty well this year, but Class A is very difficult. You've seen some of these teams from last year when you played, and you know their talent this year. What do you think will separate the winner in Class A? Perhaps Auburn, perhaps somebody else. What do you think will separate teams, in Class A this year?
no, I think we'll separate teams this year. Honestly, I feel like it's what they did in the short amount of time that they had to prepare for the upcoming season. So like if they were in that weight room or with like at practice or putting in that work when nobody was looking, I feel like that's what's gonna like separate the teams because they are pretty close. Like we have other teams like CBA or like Wiseboro or whatever.
Even though spring football was just a few months ago, do you feel personally a lot better as a running back? Do you feel your game is a lot different because you did have a lot of success in the spring last year?
Yeah. I feel like right after the season I was working out at Swagglers and just putting in work, honestly. And I feel like the short amount of time that I had between like the seasons really did help me, honestly, because I was like still in football mode and just clicking with stuff,
Hmm.
and I was just trying to prepare myself.
Now, running back, that's where all the action is, quarterback and running back. To you, what is the best part of playing running back? Is it hitting the line, seeing those open holes, running over people, running into people? What is the coolest thing to you about playing running back and doing well at running back?
I feel like my favorite part of being running back is probably like getting the handoff and then just probably reading the holes and then just going and just trying to read, honestly.
Do you have a favorite NFL running back and why?
Derrick Henry is my favorite NFL running back. I just like his run style and just the way he plays. And sometimes I try and model myself after him, but yeah.
And as far as the rest of the season goes, I know the goal of everybody is to win the title and go undefeated. How will you measure the success of the season? Is for Auburn, do you feel like coming off a 5-0 spring, it is kind of sectional championship or bust? Is that the only way to measure the success of your season?
Not really, I don't think so, because we lost like a lot of guys and like everybody knows that, but we still came in with like a good attitude, and like we're just coaches like basically telling us to take it like week to week instead of like looking forward to this opponent or like that opponent or even playoffs. Like I don't even think we're even focused on any of that right now. But
Okay.
yeah, sectionals are obviously in like in the back of our minds because that's like probably like the end goal, or if not a state championship.
Okay. Well, great. Well, that should just about do it for today. We thank Elijah and join us next week for another SOS Syracuse.com Spotlight Athlete of the Week. Have a good week, everybody.